Kentucky Senator Rand Paul joins me now. Senator, good to have you with us tonight. First question, what changed your mind when you met with Mike Pompeo?
You know, one of the things I've always liked about President Trump was that he's unequivocally says the Iraq war was a mistake. What I've been concerned about with Director Pompeo is I wasn't sure if he shared the president's vision because, you know, the Iraq war and regime change led to a lot of chaos in the Middle East. Same thing happened in Libya when we did regime change. And so I want whoever's to be Secretary of State to understand where President Trump's coming from. And so last week, the president asked me to meet with Director Pompeo, and out of respect for the president, I did meet with him. Then we talked again today. I've talked to the president several times. And the president reiterated in very strong terms that we've been at war in too many places for too long. And I think the president's going to surprise a lot of people by really, really trying hard to get us extricated from some of these wars.
Did he assure you that he would leave Syria?
I think it wasn't so much specific on timetables and places, but I would tell you that the president and I share a great deal when we talk about the desire to bring some of our troops home and to have our troops protecting our country and not spread out across the world. And so I think you'd be surprised when you see and hear the conversation between the two of us. And really, I've always been an advocate. I mean, Trump was probably the closest to me on foreign policy of any of the other 16 running. And so I've always been an advocate and a supporter of the president on this. Yeah. And I want to make sure the people around him share his vision. And over time, I'm coming to believe that, and I'm hopeful, you know, that Director Pompeo does share that vision. But the president told me one way or another, it's his vision, and he's not going to be persuaded to start more land wars and have hundreds of thousands of troops in the Middle East, no matter who's around him.
We'll see. You know, President Macron is there right now trying to convince him that he should not leave Syria and that he should not pull out of the Iran deal. But I want to ask you about this because President Trump said the other day, Rand Paul's a good man. He never lets me down. And obviously, in your home state of Kentucky, it's a good move to support the president. Did either one of those things weigh on you?
Not so much. I mean, what really weighs on me are the wars and all the young men and women who have been injured in our wars. My wife and I work to try to help some of these severely injured veterans, and my heart goes out to them. And I just see that now people are admitting, Pompeo and the president are admitting there's not a military solution in Afghanistan. I just can't send one more soldier. So really, it's my voice and having that voice and using that voice to try to end these wars that motivates me, not political considerations.
There were also critics who said that perhaps you didn't want to be the only member of the GOP to vote to approve John Kerry and not approve Mike Pompeo.
I've been by myself before, and I'm not afraid to be by myself when the cause is just and the cause is right. And I think in the cause of war, there aren't enough voices saying we've been at war for too long and that we need to vote on it in Congress. So I'm very proud of where I am on that. I haven't changed my position at all on that. I just, in discussing the president, believe even more strongly that the president shares my vision, that the wars have gone on too long and too many places.
So it sounds like you would be very surprised if Emmanuel Macron could convince the president that he needs to keep a presence on the ground with our military in Syria longer term.
Well, I think
that would surprise you.
If we were there 5 years from now with 50,000 troops, I'd be aghast, and I couldn't believe that it would happen under President Trump. I think the president does want to draw down the troops, and it's a complicated dance to figure out how and when to do that and how fast to do it. But I don't think he accepts what the neoconservatives say. The neoconservatives say if you ever leave, it's defeat, and the other side will win, and we must stay everywhere forever. And that's just plain wrong, and we can't afford to do it. The president shares with me that we need to build some things at home. We need to build some bridges and some roads at home. We can't keep spending $50 billion a year in Afghanistan.
Senator, thank you very much. Good to see you tonight.
Thank you.